Welcome to Fetch in the News. Here are today's top headlines. After Elon Musk calls Trump's tax bill for the rich an abomination, it gives way for fiscal conservatives in the Senate room to fight off the pork. This massive, outrageous pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination, said Musk. Shame on those who voted for it, he continued. The $4 trillion tax and spending bill is a slap in the face to Elon Musk after he was appointed to head the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, like the cryptocurrency, an initiative to cut federal spending, which included firing and laying off federal employees while dismantling other government agencies. This bill will eventually give the uber rich more money back, and as we watched for 4 months, Tesla shares fall into a ditch. It's kind of like what the Bible says, that the blind lead the blind, they will eventually fall into a ditch. Elon Musk and his public stance against the bill is allowing the fiscal conservatives and the Republican Party to remember they still have a backbone, paving the way to make it difficult for the bill to get passed through the Senate, and which the U.S. Senate takes up this week. The tax bill as it stands will cause for the federal revenue to lose $4 trillion over 10 years while adding $2.5 trillion to the national debt. Trump wants to raise the debt ceiling, which is causing friction between his party members. The tax and spending bill will end the energy tax credit, which will affect Elon Musk and his electric vehicle car company, Tesla. Next up in the news, the Republican cuts are leaving the United States on empty. Science researchers are finding stability in other places such as China and in Europe since Trump cut the federal aid to international graduate students or postdoctoral scientists. It's as if they don't want anyone from any other country in here, which is kind of weird. And those who are international graduate students or postdoctoral scientists are applying for positions elsewhere. Some universities in Europe have had to stop taking applications due to the overwhelming amount of applicants. Amid these shifts, policymakers and industry leaders are raising alarms about the long-term consequences of these actions. The exodus of talent and funding from the United States threatens to erode its competitive edge in critical fields such as technology, renewable energy, and biomedical research. Meanwhile, countries like China and Europe have capitalized on this vacuum, doubling down on investments in innovation, infrastructure, and positioning themselves as global leaders in sectors pivotal to the 21st century economy. As the United States grapples with ideological divides and fiscal uncertainty, the ripple effects are being felt across industries and communities, prompting questions about the nature's future trajectory on the global stage. Republicans in the House have regrets after passing the $4 trillion tax and spend bill after not reading it. Not only is there way too much pork on the fork, but measures that some representatives are opposed to are in the bill. For example, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who didn't know the feds would block the states from having a say on artificial intelligence for 10 years. Imagine being for something before being against it. The representative from Georgia favors states' rights, but did not know the bill would be in violation of her beliefs of states' rights. She didn't know about that section and would have voted no had she known. This is akin to a Trump voter who was a federal employee, claimed they would have never voted for him had they known they were going to lose their federal job. But then again, the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, only gave Congress 8 hours to read a 1,037-page big beautiful bill. So of course, she didn't have enough time to read the bill, and neither did any Democrat or Independent in the House. Now Representative Green is pushing for the Republican senators to grow some gonads and push back on the ungodly bill. I guess it's not so beautiful after all. What is Trump's big beautiful bill? Well, the $4 trillion tax and spend bill will reduce federal spending on Medicaid by $600 billion and reduces enrollment by 10.3 million people, according to the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, and the New York Times. Apparently, this portion of the bill has nothing to do with waste, fraud, or abuse, just figuring out a way to cut money from the poor and give the money back to rich people. This bill does not include rolling back protections against medical debt or forcing states to drop coverage. This bill does not include rolling back protections against medical debt. It forces states to drop coverage along with limiting a state's ability to pay for Medicaid, while limiting who can receive care and for how long. This big beautiful bill forces Medicaid recipients to prove they have a job, keeping out those who refuse to work. That's odd, since some states are requiring pregnant women who are in a vegetative state to stay alive and give birth to a child they'll never meet. I wonder if these women will have to prove why it is they don't want to get a job. The Senate is to take up this bill this week that will add 2.5 to 2.7 trillion to the national debt. Trump wants no taxes on tips. He must love the strippers. Trump doubles steel and aluminum tariffs on imports. What will this mean to the economy? By executive order, Trump rolled out a 50% tariff increase on imports to the United States, doubling what it was the last time he increased the tariffs on precious metals. Although steel workers in the steel industry are head over heels because of the interest. The flip side is, how will the automakers and the plane makers fare, or those who rely on buying steel and aluminum? But the conditions should improve those companies in the states who produce steel and aluminum to sell. Lastly, the New York Knickerbockers fired their head coach Tom Thibodeau for not being able to see what everyone else saw, which is the team wasn't great at being pressured on defense. Game 1 starts tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. And this has been Fetch on the News. I am your host, Fetch. See you on Friday.